People's Democratic Party and its Presidential Campaign Council have declared that it's ready for Saturday's presidential and National Assembly elections. This is as the national leadership of the PDP expresses firm optimism that its aggrieved governors, popularly called G5, will work for the party in February 25th presidential election and National Assembly elections. So joining us now to discuss more about the campaign activities and strategies and winning formula ahead of Saturday's presidential and National Assembly elections is Dele Momodu, Director of Strategic Communications of People's Democratic Party. Great to have you, sir. We read a lot of the final arguments, as regards, what Atiku will do. But a lot of people still argue largely that when you look at it in details, specifics are lacking as regards what he will do to turn around the economy. That is 77 trillion in debt, close to 40% unemployment rate as we speak. Also, people are talking, especially people in the opposition, are always tagging him and saying, oh, he will come and he will sell things to his friends and cronies. There's that air of crony capitalism around him. These are the arguments by the opposition. What would you say about these arguments?
Okay, I'll start from his 5-point agenda. What you should know is that what you published, your sister publication published today, is a synopsis of a larger manifesto. So it is impossible for this day to capture in detail the 5-point agenda, the nitty-gritty of it. So that is that. On the issue of corruption, my principal, Atiku Abubakar, is the most investigated, the most harassed, the most abused leader in Nigeria today. If anything, any iota of debt was found on him, trust me, his enemies would have put it out. He has never been indicted anywhere. No indictment. His enemies would have put it out. On the issue of he will sell Nigeria to his friends, it is part of the ignorance that we find in the political sphere in Nigeria. Ignorance because today, every one of the presidential candidates is talking about privatization. When he said it in 2019, they attacked him. Today, even the APC, which we now call the House of Commotion, is busy regurgitating what our principal had said before, because he's a businessman. You can't give what you don't have. Leadership is about managing people and resources. Tell me how many politicians in Nigeria have managed business at the level that Atiku Abubakar has done. So that is a difference. And that is why today it is clear, you can see it, all the adverts on the front page of newspapers today is Atiku Abubakar, the man whose time has come. He has matured from that 1993, 30 years ago, when he competed against Chief Moshood Abiola and Babagana Kingibe, and he was humble enough to step down for Chief MKO Abiola. He was supposed to be a running mate to Abiola. He didn't get it. He went home. He did not throw tantrums like we see today. He became governor. He contested election in his home state in Adamawa today. He won, became governor. But before he could take power, they removed him to become the vice presidential candidate to Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. So that is a man of destiny. That is a man who is focused. Have you ever seen him attack or abuse or respond to all the spurious allegations against him? So that is the kind of leader that Nigeria needs today. A man of courage, a man of charisma, a man of comportment, a man who knows his onions. And you can see already he's presidential. All the nations of the world are already moving to the Atiku house in Abuja. They're already meeting with him. He's discussing with them. He has said that within 1 week, after he's been announced and he takes power, he will be able to announce his cabinet. it will be a government of national unity, is the only one who is ready from day one. None of the others. The others are busy fighting. If they are not fighting the leadership of their own political party, they are busy telling lies and all these highfalutin theories that they've never put to practice.
All right, okay, so let me ask you, it's crunch time now and Nigerians will head to the polls in 2 days. Are you concerned about the fact that despite all you've said about your candidates, Nigerians are a bit wary about the fact that you've had the last 8 years a president from the northern region of Nigeria, and it's time for the South. In the spirit of national unity, which you just mentioned, do you think that that could potentially impact his emergence as winner on Saturday? Side by side that, looking at him beside the candidates, we had Professor Patutomi come in a few minutes ago, talk about the competence of his candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, and the fact that we should move away from the old. So APC and PDP represent the old. It's time to embrace the new, in whom we can see as Mr. Peter Obi. Also talking about the competence, mental competence of the APC candidate, saying that he's not even able to govern and it would have a to-right situation where his wife or his son would be the ones running things. What's your take on this?
Well, I will start from Professor Pat Utomi. I watched him speak earlier on. 4 years ago, Atiku was not old when his candidate today, Peter Obi, was the running mate to Atiku Abubakar. We have on tape all the nice things that Obi said about Atiku and continues to say. You can see that even at the Arise News Town Hall debate, he was still quoting what his former principal said during the debate. That's to tell you that it differs to the experience, to the exposure, to the knowledge of Atiku Abubakar. So if Prof, a man I respect so much, said that, of course, it's in the nature, it's in the character of politics and politicians, of course, to say such things. So, and then when you look at where we're coming from right now, Atiku Abubakar, no matter what you want to say, is very prepared. He knows what to do. He's not fighting anybody. Even in his broadcast yesterday, he said it. He said, whosoever, even if you're not going to vote for me, please go out to vote. That's a statesman. What Nigeria needs today is a statesman who knows what to do and who has the right temper and temperament. That is what is in short supply in our country today. So, for me, we are ready on Saturday to go all out and make sure that we deliver on what we have prepared for. As I told you, he started the journey long ago. It's not a day's journey. So when you see people who come today and think in one day you can just get it, it's not that simple. He has built the bridges, and that to me is key. Nigeria is in dire straits today. We are living in very precarious times. A period when the falcon cannot hear the falconer, when things are falling apart and our country is no longer at ease. So you need a man of the people, okay? And I'm borrowing the titles of the great writer Chinua Achebe in demonstrating to you the character, the personality of Atiku Abubakar.
Okay, 2 quick things. I know you've tried to respond to Professor Pat Utomi, but one of the things that Professor Utomi also said is that the candidate of the APC does not have the physical and mental capacity to be president. Do you share that view? But he says Peter Obi is the best man for the job. Secondly, yesterday, there was the second meeting of the National Peace Accord Committee. And that committee specifically said that spokespersons have been the major problem with peacemaking in this electoral process. 44% of spokespersons of presidential campaigns were fingered, were called out as people who have been most difficult. And that in the post-election season that we're going to, They're hoping that everybody, members, candidates, spokespersons, will give peace a chance and respect the outcome of the election or express their grievances in a legitimate manner. They didn't remove PDP. Will PDP be peaceful, whatever the outcome of the election? Particularly all these people on social media who are always causing, so much ruckus.
Dr. Ruben Abati, you know for a fact that I am not a medical doctor. I am not a psychiatrist, so I cannot speak to the mental ability or capacity of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And then also, in the mood of the peace accord, I'm not supposed to have any bad words for anybody today. I want to be remembered as one of the few people who ran a professional campaign. So let Nigerians themselves judge whether they think Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is physically fit, mentally okay. I heard you when you were talking about, I think it was Rufai was talking about gaffes after gaffes. Let Nigerians be the judge. I don't want anybody to say, oh, it's Dele Momodu, he's the director of strategic communications. Who said this? Who said that? Nigerians have eyes. Nigerians have ears. They can see how unruly these APC characters are being. Extremely unruly, abusing their own president. I saw my big brother, Aliyu Adams Oshiomhole, climbing the roof of a vehicle in Edo State and abusing Buhari. I have never seen this Fuji house of commotion before in politics, where people who used to hero worship the president just because they know he's on his way out, and the man who wants to take power from him is the one leading this rebellion. So I'm not a doctor, but what they are doing to me doesn't make sense. Peter Obis says he's the best for the job. What did I expect him to say? But he knows his senior. He knows that he is not in the same league as Atiku Abubakar. That is why he agreed to be his running mate the last time. And he hasn't told us that he discovered something untoward while he was running mate. He continues to give respect to whom it is due. And that is the way it should be. I like Peter Obi for that. I know it's going to be almost impossible for him to win, but I'm not God. You see, the configuration of Nigeria is what has convinced me that Atiku has the best chance. The history of Nigeria has also convinced me that history is still repeating itself like it did in 1979, in 1983, when we had Chief Obafemi Awolowo in the southwest. We had the Owele of Onitsha, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe in the southeast. We had Shagari from this northwest. We had Baba Aminu Kano in Kano, just like we have Kwankwaso today. And so it's a repeat. Whenever two strong southern candidates meet a mainstream northern candidate, it is impossible to beat them. So today the competition is between Asiwaju and Peter Obi. It is not with Atiku Abubakar. That is a theory that held then, that holds today, and may still hold tomorrow. And that's the way I will rest my case.
Okay, because it's the day for final arguments. At a point in 2019, the PDP party chairman had to apologize to Nigerians for failures in the last 16 years. The PDP had a chance to change this country. They spent billions of naira on the power sector. Nothing happened. They spent billions of naira on the economy. It didn't still move the needle. Some people say it was better than this APC government, but it didn't still move the needle. They spent billions of infrastructure. We didn't see anything because there were many projects started by the PDP that was caught up in corruption. And there are many of them like that. Take, for instance, the Port Harcourt-Maiduguri rail line that was awarded under the PDP, that nothing was done because of corruption and mismanagement. So the PDP had come out at some point to apologize for failures in 16 years. Why should we give the PDP another chance, despite its failures when it got a chance for 16 years? Those are the arguments the opposition are trying to put forward to you this morning?
If you said PDP failed, I cannot find any word in the lexicon to describe what APC has done in the last 8 years, or whatever they have left undone. Anybody who loves Nigeria today will never pray for APC to come back to power. And if you are talking about apologies, that PDP apologized, what happened was that we thought PDP, nothing could be worse. I was one of those who supported Buhari. I still respect him till today. I believe that a lot of guys around him, from what they are doing today with this currency thing, I can see clearly that you have a lot of very unruly fellows. I don't want to use any worse word. Very unruly. So if this is the quality of advice they've been giving to the man, this is how they've been manipulating and blackmailing and bullying him, then Nigeria is in danger if they ever come back to power. Apologies. If you feel that you disappointed someone, there is nothing wrong in apologizing. But let me tell you, the case of APC is so bad that the wife of the president came out openly to apologize to Nigerians that we failed. What could be bigger than that? The wife of a sitting president came out publicly. They have not even ended. Okay? You cannot begin to compete what we call infractions under PDP with what you have today. What you have today is a complete mess. It's a disaster. So, yes, things were bad under PDP, but compared to what is going on today, in those days we were talking in billions. Today you are talking in trillions. Ordinary petroleum subsidy, you are talking in trillions. The debt burden under PDP, we were able to write it off. Today, it's like we are carrying an elephant on our heads with the debt burden. So there is nobody who has good conscience who will compare PDP and APC. APC is completely irredeemable. They are in total disarray today, and they don't even know what to do any longer. That's why all they know today is that they want to buy the votes. And the president has done something. I disagree with the lack of currency because people are suffering. My principal did a broadcast in which he said, look, CBN, find the money, make sure it circulates so that the ordinary people will not suffer. But the president has done something which is partly okay. But if people are throwing tantrums because there is no money in circulation. Look, when the president came to Lagos about 2 days ago, the stadium was hardly half filled. In the past, it has never happened that Shiwaju will have a rally in Lagos for himself. Even if it was for the governor, it would be full. It was not full because they didn't have the capacity to mobilize the people. That's a positive thing for our democracy. We cannot continue. So anybody who wants to become president of Nigeria will just amass money and he will just buy Nigeria. Are we a mafia dog? So anybody, no matter how you made the money, you just come and then you just buy Nigeria. So if that's the only thing that Buhari will achieve, I salute him.
Well, on that note, Dele Momodu would like to thank you very much. Although it would have been nice to ask you, if you were not supporting Atiku, who would have been your other preferred choice?